I think we kind of talked about this one. Are we actually one?
Did we? Not because you know what? This
Okay,
is
let's do
basically
it.
4ever1, right?
Yeah, let's go.
So
After 10 years of marriage, 3 beautiful boys, and many seasons of love, change, sacrifice, laughter, and growth, we felt it was time to open up and share some of the real moments that have shaped our journey together.
Welcome to the Forever One podcast, where we have honest conversations about marriage, faith, family, communication, and what it truly means to keep choosing each other.
episode 3, we're here, live and direct. All right. So
These intros are getting interested every
Right?
time.
Oh man, episode 3. Are we actually one?
Are we actually one?
Great question. Core question. What does becoming one mean without losing your individual identity?
Yeah, this is, if I'm going to be honest, because this is about real conversations.
All the way.
If I'm going to be honest, I think this was an issue we struggled with the most.
Yeah. Talk on it. Speak on
I think this is because I feel like I remember like over the years just saying like we're a team.
Right.
But also I was operating as independent woman where she at, come on.
Right.
Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
Circa, is it 2001?
I don't even remember, to be honest.
You know, independent woman, not just in that providing for myself or that, but in that I think as an independent person.
Right.
And I think it had nothing to do with marriage or relationships. It just had to do with how I was brought up.
Right.
You know, I grew up in the Caribbean and just having responsibilities early and just knowing that, okay, I have to do this. I have to get myself there. I have to take care of myself.
Right.
You know, when my parents left, when we came to Canada when we were younger, you sort of had to figure life out on your own. So I've been running on that same mentality for such a long time that even when I got into, you know, a relationship or marriage and feeling that I didn't have to do everything by myself,
Right.
or, you know, understanding that I did have to say, hey, I'm going to do this, you know, it was like, why? Why do I need to let you know what I'm doing or what I'm spending or what I'm, you know,
Right.
It was a very,
So for you never lost your identity.
I
Or who
feel,
you were.
no, because I didn't immediately jump into becoming one. I felt like we were married, you know, but I always still feel like I'm independent,
Right.
you know, but then, you know, as you grow and as you go through things, and as we started, you know, early coming into the life of when we wanted to have children and
Right.
going through our miscarriages and understanding that I couldn't go through that loss alone, and then knowing that you were also going through that loss, and that this wasn't an independent thing happening, it really started to change how I was looking at our relationship. You know, but marriage doesn't automatically make us a team.
Right.
And so understanding that early on would have helped me to not feel like there was a problem, that it's just a process to becoming a team.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like I agree with what you're saying. I feel like you come into a marriage sometimes being very selfish.
Yeah.
You know, thinking about yourself. I can speak for myself. Speaking, you know, thinking about yourself, what you need, what your wants are, especially before the kids and stuff like that. And you know, constantly having to drill in your head. There's this other person that is with you. There's this other person
Yeah.
that you're living life with.
Don't forget her.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
right? So just basically reminding yourself, you know, to really basically be centered. You know, this person, you married this person, you had vows with this person, you have become one, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of things that I would say that you used to do, with Latoya,
Yeah.
be okay with this, with would she be okay with this?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Would you? Yeah.
I'm definitely guilty of
I was just giving you room to be you.
definitely guilty of still kind of doing that, right?
Yeah.
On not on everything, but on some things, right?
And I start to not take that. I guess in the past I used to really take that personally, of course, because I'm like, how can you, like, we're married, like, but I think the idea there is that understanding that because we are married, your individual decisions do not just affect you.
That's
That's
true.
one of the biggest things
Yeah,
about this.
yeah.
The joy of it, like, okay, yeah, I got rich, you get rich. You get rich, I get rich. Yeah, that's great.
Right.
But when there's a negative side to it,
Yeah.
or
The loss.
if you're going through something that's affecting you emotionally,
Right.
it will affect me too.
Yeah.
Because when you're not able to be your 100% of who you are,
Yeah.
it affects how I am. And that interconnected connectedness about us, about a marriage, we can't escape each other. And so we also have to ensure that we know that we're a team. If you're not 100,
Right.
how can I help you?
Instead of
know?
hiding it.
Instead of hiding it.
You know. Yeah, definitely. Okay. So what does Forever One actually mean to each of us?
Well, I mean,
How did it come to be?
Well, it came to be. Remember, we were a 10-year anniversary.
Yes.
Like, honestly, guys, by the time you're seeing this,
Yeah.
last week we celebrated July 16,
10 years.
2026, 10 years being
10
married.
years. Yeah.
And on our way to our little resort staycation kind of feel, we were just talking just like this. And we've talked about a podcast for God knows how long.
A long time.
You know, and we've talked about all those things. But as we're talking together, as we usually do, we started documenting our journey to the resort.
Right.
We started to talk about Forever One. And then it was like, should we call this Forever One podcast?
Yeah.
And it was because we were talking about the things that shook us,
Right.
troubled our stability as in our marriage and relationships, our individualities, but also that how we were able to come through and come back together.
Right.
But also knowing that no matter what happens between us, that we'll always be one. So that commitment to that we'll come back to each other is really important.
Yeah.
Which is the start.
Yeah, it's like, it's our commitment.
Yeah.
Right? We made a commitment to become one. We made a commitment to say till death do us part. Right?
Should we show a little bit of our renewing our vows video?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Definitely can,
So check out a little bit of our 10-year anniversary. Renewed our vows right here, and then we'll come right back.
Come right back.
I cherish and I want to show you more love. More support. Show you that you're not alone in this world. Even though sometimes I don't feel like you're alone. We're going forward, that we're a team, and that we're just tackling this life together. Tackling this life together.
Oh my goodness.
Here's 10 more years. You don't have to top it. Just be.
Okay.
And we're back. Hope you enjoyed that.
So sweet.
Right? So
the people laughing downstairs though. That was so funny. Like just watching us upstairs renewing our vows in this place. They were just like watching the whole ceremony. It was beautiful.
I really loved it. Forever One, what that means to me is we made vows.
Yeah.
And this is forever.
Yeah.
We committed to forever.
That could be scary to someone though.
It
right?
is, for real. Like, your contract and stuff like that. And
you never said that like early on in the marriage, but I feel like after year 5, you were like, that's it for you. You're not going anywhere. And I felt like hearing those words, in a relationship, in a marriage even, because a marriage, a ring or anything doesn't keep anybody.
No.
I think it was really important to hear that and see that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. When do we feel most united?
I feel most united in struggles.
Right?
Is that the purpose of the struggle?
Yeah, right. It's almost as if we need the struggle sometimes.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel most united in struggles. I feel like, as you know, I was going through such a massive betrayal, and just knowing that you were such a solid foundation for me emotionally, speaking life into me, letting me know that my life doesn't end because of this negative experience, and just helping me through it. I feel like together we could have conquered the world. I feel like you pulled me out of that bad space.
Right.
Because it was tough.
Definitely.
And it's still tough, and that's how I felt the most united. Even before we got married and having our struggles, and then getting married and having miscarriages.
Right.
And I talk about that often, just of how you allowed me to grieve. You never blamed me. And some men blame the women, and just like being sensitive to all of that. I felt us most united in our struggles. Yeah.
So I was in the hospital, right? And sick. It was gastro, messed up. And vomiting, everything. And you came to the hospital, and you were holding me. I just remember you holding me while I was on the floor.
I mean, we had to call the ambulance.
We had
pretty
to.
serious.
Yeah. So you were holding me while I was on the floor, just holding me and rocking me and making sure that I'm okay. And you missed a class or something like that for that, right? Right?
God, I didn't only miss a class. I think I failed a class. Okay. The sacrifices, it was pretty serious because you were dehydrated and it was really bad.
Right.
Sometimes these things, it could be low, but it could be really dangerous.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember you talk about that moment that made you feel like,
I was
wow.
like, man, this woman.
Yeah.
This woman. Amazing woman.
Yeah. Okay,
right?
So let's see. Does becoming one means losing a part of yourself? I think we talked about that a little bit before in the last episode. Yeah. But I feel like we set the boundaries of the definition of what becoming one means.
Right.
And it's never at the cost of losing who
yourself.
You are.
Yeah.
And I think, you know what? Like, I feel like a lot of times our conversations will talk about who can go after this goal or this dream at what point in our marriage. And it's to really say that we both are rooting for each other individually. Yeah. And let's see when you can have your time, which is when you did your the Black Book of Poetry, and when I can do what I needed to do for my business.
Exactly.
Because we all can. We can't be the headline at the same
all
time.
The time.
And all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. So what are we hoping this podcast will do for our relationship?
I don't know. We didn't start this podcast about us doing anything for our relationship. I guess what we're hoping is that maybe our experiences and, we're in business together.
We'll help someone else.
We'll help someone else. We've been through a lot. We've been through a lot of hurdles. And over the course, as we go through season by season, maybe something somewhere will impact and connect with one of the marriages out there that keeps you going, keeps you connected, and keep you
just
being
so
forever one.
Others that you can go through struggles, you could go through these things and still become one, still be that couple. For me, I'm hoping that this could be one of our things,
that makes us more united.
Yeah, makes us more united. We could bounce ideas off each other, talk about certain experiences that we experience, and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Okay. So as we close this episode, here's a question for the audience: can two people, married people, be committed while still living emotionally separate lives? Can two married people be committed while still living emotionally separate lives? And I was going to close, but I also known of marriages who are successful who live in different households. Like,
that's crazy.
I guess that's for another episode. But
it
works.
That's crazy.
No, it works for them.
I don't know, man.
To have different bedrooms, still one. But anyways. We could talk about that in the next.
We'll go
deeper down in this one.
For sure.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next episode.